Yamaneika Saunders, the doser investigating. Girl, she's gonna hide a tequila bottle in her hair when we had a layover in Mexico. That's still my favorite thing anybody's ever done on any. Just to give everybody a little backstory, me and Yam, who I've known for years, and I love you to death, we did the Joker's cruise, which was in Mexico, and we stop over. Where was it? Just in the middle of like fucking someplace Mexico, like
Yeah,
wherever.
it was someplace Mexico. I don't even know if it was a part of Mexico. I think it was still a part of America, and they
they,
lied to us.
they just like, get more Mexicans out there. Like he's like, I'm Nicaraguan. I don't give a shit. Get out there. And we were partying. We're having a great time on the beach. And then was it Ari? Somebody wanted to steal the tequila bottle and bring it back. You couldn't bring anything back on the ship.
Oh no, my one of my fans bought me tequila, and I said I don't want to check it, and they're gonna make me check it. And she goes, "No, you don't have to check it." I said, "Yeah." And then I said, "You know what?" I said, "I can just put it in my hair." And you guys were like, "There's no way." I said, "Nobody's gonna ask a black woman what's in her hair." And so I had this huge Marge Simpson tie bun. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, it was higher than the alien cones from like the SNL sketch, or like with Mars Attack. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like it was so ridiculous. They could have said, "Ma'am, if this is not a tumor that's in your head, we have to check and see what this is." It was obnoxious. And I walked right, and I was also teetering my head like something was in my fucking head. And they still, because
like
a white man's worst nightmare is to ask a black woman what's in her hair because he doesn't want to seem racist.
Yeah. Hold on, I unplugged my headphones. Fuck. Give me a second. There you go. I'm back. All right, I'm back. All right, did we end that? Because I disconnected my headphones for a second. I was laughing so hard. All right, pick it up from here. So, all right, TLC.
Yes.
Why do I feel like this is an important record for you?
I love TLC. I mean, TLC. TLC was like a secret crush for me.
Yeah.
Because I grew up very religious and I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music. And I had already had a run-in with my grandmother because she found, those. I'm going to date myself, but Columbia House record.
Fuck yeah, dude! I still owe him $3 for the 55 CDs I got.
One of my first checks I wrote was to get a Boys to Men poster. That's how old I am, because Boys to Men ain't been making nobody wet since what? At least 25 years ago. So
25. That's being generous.
Right. Okay. So but I never got the poster, but I had gotten Usher's one of Usher's songs, and my grandmother found it in my CD player. Because I was only allowed to listen to like Shirley Caesar and gospel and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, happy day!
You better have the Lord up in there. You better not bring no demons in this house. I had a hard time because I was in musical theater also as a kid. So sometimes it's like I could barely even sing West Side Story in the house because it was too secular. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah, my grandmother was like, "We don't know nothing about Maria, but we know about Jesus, and that's all we want to hear in this house." So I had to sneak and listen to TLC. So I used to, and I'm really about to date myself.
Do it. Come on, man.
I had just started, I believe, community college when this album was out. I'm really dating myself here. And my grandparents gave me their old Hyundai. Not Honda, Hyundai.
I know Hyundai. I thought it was Hyundai, but I'll go with Hyundai.
No, it's a Honda and it's a Hyundai.
Okay. You're gonna get some shit for
Maryland style Hyundai.
Yeah. Okay. Go get the Hyundai, the one with the original rims. The Hyundai.
Get the Hyundai. So I'm driving the Hyundai, okay, Smoking cigarettes. Now, my grandmother doesn't know I smoke, so I have to smoke on my drive from the house to campus, right?
Yeah.
And I would listen to CrazySexyCool. I would listen to TLC, and I would sneak and listen. And then, you got to make sure you pop, the cassette out, because I'm during a time where you still had a cassette CD option. Like if you had a CD, you was Paris Hilton or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like cassettes was for poor niggas that didn't have shit. You know what I'm saying? Your family still shop at the dollar store and eat Slam. But these kids now they think a CD is like, that's so old school. I would have killed at least 7 people in my family just to have enough cash to get a CD. Are you crazy? Yeah. And I grew up well. So, but yeah, that I love that album. And the thing about TLC was, see, black people always have had girl groups. You understand? It's not, you can't hardly name no white girl groups, and that's because you don't need it, because everybody.
I got one. Wild Orchid.
Oh, honey, 3 black people, three culturally appropriate white vocalists, please. Please.
Okay, you said I can't think of one.
But you see where they tuck them? They tuck them right in the clearance bin or R&B, because you cannot. White people ain't got time to be hearing no white bitches sing like niggas. They not in the mood for that. So that's why they could never get their career off the ground. 3 orchids, and then niggas is like, what the fuck is an orchid? So now they can't. Nobody want to be bothered with
that. Is that motherfucker down the street that's selling the dope? Orchid Jenkins?
Nah. Probably like a 95-year-old white woman with a green thumb. No, fuck an orchid. We don't even like that type of shit. That's what I'm saying. They were so busy trying to market to white people whilst also trying to be black. But white girls don't need a girl group, because white people ready to just jump behind a white bitch no matter what. Niggas got to be in groups so white people can go, let me pick out which one's the least threatening. So with this, we've always had girl groups, right? But out of those groups, you always had somebody that brought the jazz to the group. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And Left Eye was the one that kept bringing the jazz. She did, she was represented the least, because she was more of like she was a hip hop artist, a rapper on the thing, and every now and then they would let her sing a hook. Mm-hmm. But she was the one that was lifting up that fucking group with her talent, even her antics and shit. So, and that's no disrespect to Chili and T-Boz, because they were amazing. I don't think T-Boz ever got the credit that she deserved for what a great vocalist she is. You understand?
Wow, you think that T-Boz is a great... I wrote earlier after I listened to Creep, I was like, this bitch sings below the diaphragm. She's like... she's 20 seconds lonely. That's low.
It's the mimicking, right, of what people perceive deserves a certain accolade. So for us to consider somebody to be a vocalist, they have to, no disrespect to Whitney Houston, put on these sort of ball gowns and couture to be a vocalist. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, that wasn't even Whitney. Whitney's style was like, I'm a real bitch from Newark. I don't give a fuck. Right, but she had to
came out too.
Be considered a vocalist. Nobody would ever consider the bitch from Newark a vocalist. You see, and that's why I overlooked T-Boz, because she had, the blonde bob and all this shit. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. You don't take her seriously, so nobody really listened to how well she sung. She didn't get the credit she deserved. So it was a great album. Their vibe, was really, really great. I think they get undersold for how amazing they were as a girl group, because they were eclipsed by Destiny's Child. And
they were. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Destiny's Child is more I'm in the age range of Destiny's Child more so than TLC. I'm just a little undercut from them. But when you have Destiny's Child that eclipsed how amazing TLC was, because TLC was crossover. You understand? They weren't just an R&B group. They had this eclectic vibe to them that crossed them over. What happens again, because of systemic racism and how much it plays a part, even in music, is that once you now give white people and black people who also have self-hating issues from time to time and colorism, once you give people an option of having the accessibility of blackness without having all blackness there, it gets replaced. This is why people are constantly looking for a white girl that can sing soul so that she can replace the black girl that we had to keep watching to do it because we don't know the white bitches that can do it. It's constantly about taking the undercurrent of what it is and then putting a white face on it. So when you brought somebody like a Beyonce, who we found out later is super talented and amazing, all these things, what really propelled them was the fact, it's like, is she white? Is she light skinned? Like, is she? So you had all this ambiguity that people could attach themselves to. And I always feel like TLC as a whole should be more comparatively ranked with Destiny's Child than for it to sort of be like, of course they wouldn't reach the heights that Destiny's Child would be able to because they didn't have the accessibility to.
Yeah. No. You know what's funny that you say that? It's like, because on this list that we're doing, there is no Destiny's Child record, right? There isn't. On the new list, there's probably all of them and then every record Beyonce did. And I'm not taking anything away from how important those records are, because they are. But man, I never thought of that. I never thought it was like the second TLC, Left Eye dies in 2002? Am I right or wrong, Morty?
Yeah.
I'm right. She dies in 2002. And that's 2 years prior, like 2000, I think, when the first Destiny's Child record comes out. Find out that for me, JT, when the first Destiny's Child record comes out. And it was like, by that point, we had already forgotten about how important and how great TLC was. Dude, I still can pinpoint the fucking moment I saw them. That video, and I've been re-listening to it, because I don't think you could talk about this record without talking about Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Right.
Do you get more? Dude, JT, did you get the clip that I asked you for?
Waterfall.
Did you get it? You didn't get it, did you? Oh, you motherfucker. Keep this in the podcast.
What are you talking
about?
Yes!
Because
I'm playing.
Clip? No, not Waterfall. I want this part right here. Hold on. God damn, I fucking love this song so much. Wait, I'll give her a little bit left eye.
In the morning, in the middle of the night, I see trying to beg.
It's about the ski, but you got 2 inches of your rock harder if it's sagging. Oh, they're talking about
it. And girl was like, that's right, bitch. I've been trying to tell them I ain't too proud to beg, girl.
I can't tell you how much I love it, and I can't tell you how great. We were really lucky because last week we did Toots and the Maytals, which pushed me in this great mood. And then this record for me was like, man, it just took me right back to like 1994. It took me back to all the vibes. I can remember all of this. And not only is that music just representing like the style of music that was going on, but man, it's just like you can pinpoint the exact outfits that went with the shit they were singing. So this was more than just like, I remember people trying to dress exactly like Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and then you had the girls that wanted to be T-Boz, and you had the girls that wanted to be Chili. That's what's so important about TLC. Is like you said, these girls, you could look at them and be like, oh, I'm a Left Eye, I'm crazy, and then you're like, well, I'm cool. Like T-Boz, and I'm chill,
sexy,
and I'm sexy like Chili.
That's how they would reduce women anyway, right? People don't understand how smart what they did was, because a lot of TLC stuff had messaging that you wouldn't understand, either a political connotation or some sort of ism that was going on in the world. Like even Waterfalls is deeper than people give it credit for, and that's because they started off being a progressive group that wanted to enlighten and change the world. And that's the thing, when you have groups that want to make an impact. But it's like something Morty said when we took a little break about, how Destiny's Child does give acknowledgement to TLC, which is great, and which what we need. And Beyonce, I know, has always been an artist who likes to give credit to the people that she, looked up to, from Michael Jackson to Tina Turner. Just constantly letting people know who, were supportive of her. And that's why, to be honest with you, Destiny's Child is my group. TLC, I love them. They were my group too. I felt in the middle of both of them. But when we talk about all the way back to the Supremes, to Shirelles, and all of these like groups that just because we're moving forward in time and there's going to be somebody more popular in that time, obviously, because tastes and styles change, doesn't mean that the groups that came before them were not valid.
Yeah.
You know, the Supremes were the Destiny's Child of their time.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
You know, we go back and we pay homage. So, you know, that's the thing that I really always liked about TLC, you know, their influence.
Yeah. Well, let's pay homage to the history. Morty, why don't you catch us up on this record?
You got it, guys. Okay, so released on November 15th of 1994 on LaFace and Arista Records and produced by Dallas Austin, Babyface, Sean Puffy Combs, Jermaine Dupri, John, Organized Noise, and Chucky Thompson. This is the second album by the American R&B soul hip hop.
Produced that?
Well, yeah, a bunch of them.
They had no money because look how many producers had their hands. You need that many people to produce an album?
Yeah.
It only takes 2 people to produce a baby. You didn't need Babyface and the other cat. P. Diddy also. No, somebody got to go home because we don't have the checks for this.
Okay.
Right on. So check us out. So in 1990, in Des Moines, Iowa, native vocalist Tion Watkins and rapper Lisa Lopez of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they were recruited.
Morty looks like he's in the lobby of a casino, and he's going through this history. Like, Morty, why are you doing this? So, and 19 cents, like, we just got finished. I just took a hit.
Hold on, let me get a sip. Let me get a sip of absinthe.
Get you a drink and start drinking because you need to calm down.
What's good? All right. Here we go. So they formed in Decatur, Georgia, outside Atlanta, with a vocalist called Crystal Jones for a New Jack R&B girl group called Second Nature. Before the group we know, that were supposed to be like a female Belle Biv DeVoe. We were talking about like a New Jack group. Soon, they get signed by manager, producer, and former R&B singer Pebbles Reed. Do you want to ride in my Mercedes? Yeah. Right?
I don't know that one.
Yeah. So this is, I just want to do, so this is female-centric still here. So I was giving you that. So she renames them TLC, an acronym of their first names. So she gets them an audition with her husband at the time, who's L.A. Reid, and his partner, Ken.
That's when you know your marriage almost over. When you got to audition for your husband, like, you ain't giving him enough pussy for him to just say okay to these girls. I don't get it. Why am I auditioning again? Didn't we take vows? Oh, okay. Well, look like you got a new girl group. What the fuck you talking about? You crazy?
So she gets him with LaFace Records. They get in. So they like Tion and they like Lisa, but they pass on Crystal. So they do a little recording with other people. Then there's a backup dancer.
This was the one that couldn't get her hair done. Crystal, they was like, Crystal, you gotta come. You gotta get an outfit, Crystal. Listen, I'm getting off early from Burger King. I ain't got time wearing no outfit. No, Crystal, you gotta not put your Burger King outfit on. You gotta wear something nice so that they keep you. Listen, until I get a record deal, I'm still flipping burgers at Burger King, and I'm not going nowhere without my damn Burger King apron on. And that's why they said, get rid of the bitch with the Burger King apron. Crystal, you got to bounce.
Morty, not get us up to, you know.
I'll catch you right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So they add former backup dancer Rosanda Thomas of Columbus, Georgia. So to keep the acronymic name TLC, obviously Tion becomes T-Boz, Lisa becomes Left Eye, and Rosanda becomes Chili. That's just so they can keep the TLC. Yeah. So the vibrant, colorful image they have for the videos, fun songs, female empowering lyrics, especially Left Eye's raps, connects with the public. Year later, they have 4 hit singles from a debut that sold 6 million copies worldwide.
Such a great debut, man. Such a great record. That's like the most 90s. Ain't Too Proud to Beg's music video is the most 90s music video I've ever seen. Even the black dude that's ripped that keeps turning around, he looks like one of the bad guys from fucking Boys in the Hood. I was like, that motherfucker, did he shoot? Fucking what's his name? Yeah. All right, go ahead, Morty. Sorry.
So I'm gonna catch you up with this here. This is where it gets a little bit sad. But it puts it into.
This is great. Check us out, yeah.
Yeah, starts putting it into, you seeing the depth of what's going on. Left Eye was also struggling with alcoholism since she was about 15, and she starts a tumultuous relationship with Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Andre Rison, and I'll get back into that in a second. So now, while touring, T-Boz also got extremely ill from sickle cell anemia. Which,
remember that from their
so
behind
she gets
the
off
music.
the road, and she gets off. They come off the road. They break up with Pebbles over money issues, but her company's still production is still involved with them. More about that in a minute, also. So they begin working on their follow up. They have the same production team, but they add a few of the people like P Diddy that comes on for this one.
Ugly ass Jermaine Dupri, that motherfucker nasty.
He was on from the beginning though. He's so deaf, yo. So
he fucked Janet Jackson, right?
I can neither confirm.
He called it so deaf because every career he ever touched died. And if Jermaine Dupri is listening to that, that's just a joke because I actually do like Jermaine Dupri, but I'm also a comedian first.
Do it. Funny first.
She's crisscrossing all over that, yo. Okay, so the new songs on this record are going to move away from the earlier playful hip hop stuff into a smoother R&B tip. The beats, more coming of age, grown up subjects, including social and emotional issues that they were feeling strongly about at the time. However, a few months into recording, Left Eye has an argument with Andre Rison, and in a drunken rage, she sets fire to his shoes in a bathtub, which accidentally burns down his mansion.
No accident.
No, but no, I'm saying
once you set a fire in a house, you got to know that fire gonna travel. You think it's just
yeah.
Nah, it's gonna
according to her, the accident was that it burned the house down.
Yeah, how this house burnt down that I started a fire in and then left it to travel all by itself from room to room.
So as a result of that, she gets arrested. She gets 5 years probation, but to avoid jail, she goes to rehab.
And she gets a big contract.
Yeah, she's only released for 2 times during the recording of this record. So because because she's notably diminished on the record, her contributions are still substantial to the album's success. So let's talk about its success. Named for a personality traits of each member, CrazySexyCool becomes the best-selling album by a female group in the United States.
Yeah.
It was the first by a female group to reach diamond status, which is 10 times platinum. It's since sold 12 million copies in the U.S. Now, despite making the record company a gang of money, their terrible contracts that literally charge them for everything, travel, expenses, getting there, food, videos, everything. Remember, 12 million copies. They made $50,000 a year each.
That is insane. That pisses me off. So it's the Chappelle thing. That's Chappelle talking about Chappelle's show and saying he's like, you signed the contract because you're young, and then the fucking network makes all the goddamn money, and these 3 chicks that are so talented, $50,000. Go ahead, Morty, because there's more.
Yeah, okay.
I know you're about to say.
Yeah, and so obviously T-Boz has accrued a sizable hospital bill, with sickle cell and having to deal with her health issues, and now Lisa Left Eye still owes about $1.3 million of damages to Andre Rison. So dig this. This is insane. So Left Eye grabs some of the ladies from her rehab, and they're going to go rob Arista Records, and they're going to go steal their albums and their merch and get everything that.
Tina, are you done detoxing? Because I'm trying to go rob this motherfucker.
Bitch, you might want to take a hit real quick.
And on top of
don't
that,
worry, we'll stop by 5th and Broadway on the way.
Yeah. So on top of that, they plan to hold legendary label head Clive Davis of Arista Records. They're going to hold him at gunpoint until they get a better royalty rate. That's their plan, by the way. Well thought out. And by the way, it actually works. They get a better royalty plan for it.
Good.
But at that point, it's too late for them, and they have to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 95. This is after the 12 million.
That's
record.
a year after the album came out.
When the record pops, they all go bankrupt. So
fuck
dig this.
You, dude.
CrazySexyCool wins them 2 Grammys, including Best R&B Album. They receive multiple nominations at American Music Awards, Soul Train Awards. They win Artist of the Year at the Billboard Music Awards. They win 4 MTV Video Music Awards, including Video of the Year, Viewer's Choice. Now, eventually they renegotiate their contracts. They get out of the one with Pebbles. It takes them a few years of hassles to put out the following album, right? It's another huge hit, but at that point, they're fracturing. Left Eye doesn't want to just give a few raps on the records. She wants to be a bigger point of it.
Yeah.
This is sadly, they all go and pursue solo projects with varying success. They're planning on getting back together. And then tragically in 2002, as we talked about, Left Eye was killed in a car accident in Honduras.
I thought it was a plane crash.
No, it was that. You're thinking of Aaliyah.
That's Aaliyah.
Yeah,
there's like that was like they literally were like maybe a few months apart. Am I right or wrong?
I think Left Eye was very affected by Aaliyah's death also.
Yeah,
I believe it's a very tight. So now T-Boz and Chili, they carry on as a duo on and off. There's new records, there's comeback tours, reality shows, a biopic. This year, there's actually going to be an A&E biography documentary special chronicling their whole history. They remain one of the most influential female groups of all time, and they are still the best-selling American girl group. As we said, girl group, over 85 million records sold. And that's where we are today.
Good. Oh, that breaks my heart, man. Bankrupt.
And that's the fucked up thing sometimes about the industry is like, I could almost, because I understand business, right? But it's like you're not even, you think if you have something that is bringing you such success, you would give it would take them nothing. They wouldn't even break their own bank to give each of them $2 or $3 million a piece every year. Like that's the minimum. They're worth more than that. But sure. $50,000, who can even, and they have to keep a certain lifestyle because now they're going to need security because they're superstars. They can't just be living anywhere, being in any environment. They need to be secure, and they can't do that off of $50,000. They probably couldn't even live in the building that I live in with that kind of salary. I had to get up.
Lisa's eye condom budget is at least $22,000. You know what I mean? How the fuck's she gonna afford those eye condoms, dude? Condoms were expensive back in the day, dude. All right. Let's dive into the record, okay? Because it's great, dude. So it opens with one of the 19 interludes on the record. This album should be called Interludes featuring 3 hits. The first one's got Phife Dawg. It's a good song. I really like it. I love that. I think it kind of establishes, like, you know, because we got Phife Dawg from Tribe Called Quest basically doing his verse from Oh My God. It's so dope. But let's get right to the first hit because we got Creep. And this is what I'm talking about. When you think of this record, you think of this is one of the 4 or 5 songs that you have to talk about. So Morty, tell us about Creep.
This is their first #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It won them the Grammy for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or a Group with Vocals. And basically, T-Boz tells Dallas Austin about a situation she's going through. And he wrote this one about cheating on an inattentive man. However, he sits on it because he thinks it's a little too corny. But T-Boz thought it was very important for it to get out. But Left Eye didn't want to rap on it. She didn't want to put this on there because of what she was going through. This is what she actually said was, I don't want to offend people personally. I don't want it to interfere with my relationship. If he thinks I'm doing this, it's going to cause problems, and I'm making a record out of that. So even in the video, she wanted to put a video. She wanted to wear black tape across her mouth because she just didn't want there to be any chance of it being misconstrued.
I don't remember this music video, but this is the song we were talking about. You know, Yam, you mentioned earlier about T-Boz's voice. Like, what's so funny is about hearing this again and then knowing how popular they were. But then also, I personally don't think T-Boz actually has a great singing voice. Like, it's not bad. It works with the song. But here, play the little clip, JT. All right. Kill it. Yeah. So, yeah. Whoa. He pushes me away. What do you feel? How do you feel? Like, this must have been one of them car jams.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was not sexually active when this album was out, unfortunately, because of religious purposes. It took me a while to get in the game. So I didn't have anything I could relate to, with that idea. But what I'm talking about is you hear in the song T-Boz's voice. It's something the way she can lay. It's not about her being the most amazing singer. It's that she doesn't get credit. for the way that she makes these songs pop. The texture, the crunch that she puts on it, because it sounds like a greasy. It sounds like a bitch that's about to get greasy. The way she's singing it, like you believe that voice is a woman that's like, oh nigga, you cheating? Okay, me too, bitch. That's not something you can make a ballad out of. You understand? And
no, for sure. I'm not saying that she doesn't sing it proper on this song. The way she's singing, it 100% matches the music and everything. But it's just to have her. She's the main voice, and it's not like she's like I said earlier. She's singing almost. It's like speak singing. It's below the diaphragm. Like I'm all the way down here. That'll be me. Like I am all the way down here. I want to ask you because I got to ask because I know as a beautiful woman, one that is in the public eye, you're gorgeous. I love you. You know that.
I love you too, baby.
Tell me, who's the creepiest dude that's ever hit on you?
In the biz?
I mean, yeah, whatever way you would take it.
Jermaine Dupri.
Well, I have had a creepy in the biz. But I'll tell you that I had one guy that approached me, and I've told this before. I was looking for a temp place. I was looking to go to a temp office and take a test in New York City, and I couldn't find the address. And a security guard in one of the buildings said, I noticed that you were walking back and forth looking, like you're lost. And I said, yeah, I'm looking for this address. And he told me where it was. And he said, God sent me out here to talk to you. I feel like you're my wife. You're the woman that's going to be my wife one day. This is what he says to me. Long story short, I come to find out he was 7 years clean from drug abuse, sex addiction. He used to be a pimp. He was a thief. He'd been married multiple times. He has a bunch of
played wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, and I was, he had all these things that were wrong with him, and he said that God had sent me to him. And I said, how could God have sent me to you? P.S. I was having a conversation with him because I did take his number. He was calling me from some halfway house that he was on the pay phone. I called the number, and some other guy was, because he told me to call him at a certain time. Another guy picks up the phone, and then he yells his name. I forget what his name was. Maybe Curtis or something. Curtis. And I was like, and it sounded.
It's halfway house name.
But when the receiver on a payphone, you can hear it fall. You can just hear it swing back and forth.
Yeah,
like I could tell it was a payphone because it was like that heavy hit when he dropped the phone. And he was just like, I said, God could not have done this. And he said, why? He said, God said if I was faithful to him, he would give me my heart desire. He would give me a woman that was pure, was clean, was beautiful. I said, yeah, but that kind of shit is crazy to me, because you're looking for, and I was very innocent. I was still a virgin at the time. I think I was 25, 26 years old. I said, why, if I've been diligent to God and I've kept my vessel clean and my body clean, why wouldn't God bless me with somebody that's also clean? Why do I have to have stayed clean so that you can get a restart on cleanliness? No.
Yeah.
No. You need to go find you a woman who has recovered from all of the things you have recovered from, or most of them, and then you guys start over again together, two broken pieces, trying to find a way to mend themselves. You're not taking my clean shit over here. You think I kept this pussy tight this long to get away from you in a halfway house that's fucking telling me he's a recovering drug addict and / pimp?
Yeah. Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. You know what he tried to do though? Kick Your Game, which is the next song. I wanted to skip over it, but Morty says this is important. So why don't you tell us why it's important, Morty?
The reason I bring this up is because we're talking about this is for this album, they really reversed a lot of traditional gender roles. Lisa, even when she's given her rap, she flips back and forth between being herself and then being this, prospective suitor trying to kick it with her. So I give a lot of credit to them for stepping outside of what would have been the normal, capacity of a record you know. And so I just wanted to say that about this. But
No,
there's
and then
one
there's
line in this.
yeah.
Sorry,
Go
go on.
ahead. What?
I was
No,
saying
so
there's one line.
it's funny that you had pulled the line, and I saw it too, which is because the chorus is so 90s, but the star is Lisa Left Eye, and her line, "So we can make love on the 50-yard line." I mean, that's 100% about her boyfriend Andre Rison. Speaking of which, all right, "Digging on You," great song, but it has this line. JT, while you're looking that up, can you play 54 seconds in?
It's all like that. It's all like
You got it? The music? Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear the music. But as long as I'd rather watch her listen than listen to me.
Oh, I didn't. Is it playing? Is it playing the music? I don't even care. Just don't even stop. All right. Sorry. So kill it. So, although for some apparent reason, monkey lines are now in season, what the fuck does that mean?
Don't ask me something I'm supposed to know because I'm black.
Yeah, and please don't throw it to me because she's black. I'm not getting in the middle of anything.
Okay.
I don't, honey.
Okay.
I don't know.
Time out. Okay, let's get to what I think might be my favorite song on the record, "Case of the Fake People." The hook is from the OJ's 72 hit "Backstabbers." But I honest to God think this is such a catchy chorus. JT, play it. And I'm just gonna play it on my phone so I have it so I can follow along. I don't give a fuck about the music. Here and now. This is so 90s.
Yes.
This is so New Jack Swing. It's so
like the kicks and the arm. It's like, yeah, it's like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air opening credit montage.
Yes, dude. This takes me back. I'm wearing cross-colored jeans. I got a fucking shirt backwards. I got my starter jacket on.
Yes.
My starter, do you remember? Yeah, because we're roughly around the same age.
Yeah.
JT, I know you know. The starter jackets were the most important fashion accessory you could have in the 90s.
Goose down, cross colors, all of that. Like Trapper Keepers.
Cornici.
Everything. What? Nigga, everything.
Yeah.
This was the last go-round for Bow-Rex. You see what I'm saying? Like, this was the last time bitches could wear Bow-Rex. They said, get it out this decade because the next decade, they're not going to be doing this shit. They're going to start this shit called weaves and lace fronts. Bitches was at least 22 years old with Bow-Rex. This was the color time. This was like Crayola just said, I'm going to fuck the 90s, right? Everything was a Crayola box. It really was. Let me tell you how colorful the 90s was. It even toned down Ronald McDonald. Remember Ronald McDonald when this nigga first came out in the 50s? He was the most colorful thing around. And then the 90s, you'd be standing right next to Ronald McDonald. Both of y'all look like fucking Ronald McDonald. This nigga was not brighter in the 90s. Then he kind of came back in the 2000s when people started getting emo. But like, you know, nah. The 90s was it. Only got fake people, and you know what? And they was the kind of group they will tell a nigga what time it is in the song. Cause see, this is around. You know, they knew they had some bum people in their life. They probably already knew they had bum contracts and management. They probably knew people was taking advantage of them, a whole kinds of shit. And then they singing to half the niggas that's producing the album. Trust me, they singing to Jermaine Dupri right there. They singing to P Diddy and Pebble.
Oh, they knew it. They knew how much money they did not have. That's a great point, dude. That's not about guys. Yeah. That's about fucking, dude. And they're the kind of people that would do that, especially Lisa Left Eye. That bitch would she'll tell you, like, either in rap or she'll fucking grab some matches and get started. All right. Yeah. All right. Red Light Special. This is obviously one of the number one hits on the record. Morty, why don't you tell us about it?
This is the second single written and produced by Babyface. This topped the Billboard Rhythmic Top 40 and went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
It didn't go to number 1.
No, went to number 2.
Wow. Here's what's dope about this song. There's a guitar solo in it. I love that. There's a musical drop ending. I think the highlight of this song, though, is the bridge. I think it's the best moment on the record so far. Peter, what are we talking? JT. I want to call you Peter. JT, play the fucking bridge, dude. I'm gonna put it on my phone.
If you want me, let me know it. I'll make time, but you got to show it. If you need me, I want to see it. So don't mistake me. I don't want you down on your knees. I need someone, a real man. I need someone who understands. I'm a woman, a real woman.
Everybody on this podcast, everybody in the Fleece Army knows that I love a good bridge. Bruce Springsteen is still the king of bridges, but man, do they fucking do it right. Also, what's dope about this, Yam, is the fact that they're in the opening verse. They explain what the fuck's about to go down in the red light blueprint in lovemaking, where she goes, I'll let you go further if you take the southern route. Don't go too fast. Don't go too slow. You've got to let your body flow.
Mm-hmm.
She talking about motherfucking.
Let me tell you what's so spectacular about this is that they could make a song sexy even though they weren't. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because only one of them bitches in the group is supposed to be sexy. And that was Chili, and that's because she was the one that had what's considered the good hair. But you know, the way they sexualize black women is either it's in some type of whore, some type of guttural phase. And so to say that you are sensual and sexy gives a layer of class, of refinement to it, right? Oh, she's so sexy. And these girls were not that. And I'm not saying because they didn't look good, they looked good, but their style wasn't that. They wore pants, they wore like, you know, where you had Destiny's Child that was wearing couture outfits and midriffs and everything was tugging to their body so you could see the flow of their body, which we loved, which was amazing. You know, T-Boz half the time you didn't know, you was like, yo, is she pre-op the post? Like, you know, she wearing Timberlands and hard pants with the creases in them, and
that's hot.
You know,
though.
like
I
they
think that's
all
hot.
like they just got off. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like they wasn't wearing traditional sexy shit for women. When a woman wants to be sexy, she's putting on a dress or something that's clinging. Like they was wearing a lot of their outfits were like constructed outfits. Like, you know, they were wearing purposeful outfits. And what I mean is like they can go survive in the wilderness with the shit that they put on. And the fact that they put Destiny's Child in the desert and cater to you, and they was in outfits that definitely didn't cater to the desert weather was crazy. But so you know what I'm saying. But they sexy. You watch these three.
Oh, very
go
sexy.
Watch that video. Go watch Red Light Special. I think in one part they got like fucking men pajamas on. They don't even have lingerie. They got like silk pajamas. I think Lisa Left Eye had some nigga underwear coming out of a pant, like you know the little Timberlands you niggas be wearing. What's the Hanes?
The jailhouse. She had the jailhouse sag.
What nigga you niggas is getting your dick hard over a bitch and PJs like that? Absolutely not. But somehow they made the song sexy, and there was no real sex being promoted from them.
Yeah,
you don't
not
go to bed with no bitch wearing no 2-piece silk outfit with Timberlands on and Hanes.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I dig that look. I think a woman is sexy,
but it was sexy. It wasn't. They weren't trying to be. You still found sexy.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm placing it to what's going on right now on social media, on Instagram. You got a million girls that are showing like their buttholes and spreading their legs, and you're like, is that sexy? I mean, it gets me. It makes me feel sexual. But what I find sexier are the girls that are barely showing it, that are just giving you a little bit of that Hanes underwear, and that's it. That's sexy. That's sexy.
But that's what men. But not enough men say that. I had an ex-boyfriend of mine. I bought all this lingerie for shit to be popping out. You know, I got a big ass, I got thick thighs, I got heavy titties. So all that shit I would let pop out. And he would never be as interested in me in that shit as he was if I came to bed in a nightshirt or like a nightgown that like shows a little bit of something. Like, yeah, but you guys also have to promote that you like that kind of stuff so that women don't keep coming out here trying to be the, you know, when they came out with the ass cleavage, I was done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like under ass cleavage, like this is too much. The girls have gone awry.
JT, when we were like in middle school and high school, and I just remember like Dana D'Agostino would have a little bit of that ass cleavage hanging out, and I'd be like, God damn, that was the time of the Hanes. That was the time. So I'm a fan of ass cleavage.
And let me put a butt mark on that too. Pun intended. That's like a lot of girls, because I encountered this, and a lot of girls go, "Well, don't say that. Don't shame women, their bodies, and da 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 da." I'm like, yeah, you can do all of that shit. You can do all of that shit. You have every right to do all of that shit and not be shamed.
For sure.
At the same time, it's not about worrying about the external of who's shaming you. It's about how the fuck do you feel when you do shit like that? Because I know your inside spirit got to be feeling fucked up. That's the type of shit you got to do to feel some level of freedom. That's the conversation.
Completely. And I think that's probably what TLC was trying to show ladies, is that they don't have to, you know, they can be sexy wearing Timberlands. They can be sexy wearing what everybody else is wearing, because it's in the lyrics. It's in the way they carry themselves. That's all you need, which then is why they can go into probably their most iconic song, which is Waterfalls. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like we said, still be sexy, still be different, still have a message. This is a song with this is honestly, and this is what I thought about. Please tell me I don't get cut off here. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can everybody hear me? Good. Oh, thank God. You motherfucker.
You better go now.
Just keep going.
There's a lag, but yeah.
Okay, I'm going. Well, I know. Because let me pick this up because it's clean. When you talk about the biggest songs in the 90s, this has to be mentioned. This has to be in the biggest songs in the 90s. And when you put it with the music video, which is so fucking dope and so powerful. It's got Bokeem Woodbine in it.
Yeah.
You know that Bokeem's in it.
Woo!
Yeah, he kills it, dude. He kills the young kid. And then it has probably one of the first songs that sings about AIDS. JT, play it. Here, I'll play it on my phone too, just so I can get it. Go ahead. I mean, everything about this song, the messages that are in it with the music video. Yeah. First of all, am I wrong? Because I watched the music video. Say what?
Did it go number one?
Yeah, number one, Billboard Hot 100.
Do you know why it went number one?
Why?
Versus why Red Light Special? Because see, Red Light Special, I'm telling you, I'm going to bring back the race. You're talking about black sex now that you have to promote to the masses versus waterfalls. And you know, white people love a good waterfall. So already she got 100% of the white population. Look how you drinking that water now. White people love water. I don't know why more y'all don't do water commercials. So now, and then the only population of people she losing is people of color who can't swim. And since that's mostly a stereotype that we can't swim, you know, because that waterfall, that cleanliness, that if everybody can attach to that song from young and old, you're not too shy to play that in the room with your parents. And that we have to talk about the commercialization of songs that make songs 1 versus 2. That's why I don't subscribe to this number system. Because if you want to ask me, Red Light Special to me is a better song than Waterfall, but Waterfall is more tangible.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Go ahead, Marty.
I was gonna give you one to guess what kept Red Light Special out of number one.
What?
Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It.
I-
So at least you know it was representing.
This is how we do
Hey,
it.
Hey, don't even start that song. We all gonna be singing for the next week.
La 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 la.
Who knew this was gonna be a hit like this? Not even Montel. He was shocked. He said, "No way, I'm gonna make a hit. My name is Montel," and he did.
Montel was on the goddamn Comedy Jam TV show. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He did This Is How We Do It with James Davis.
He's fine though.
All right, listen. This Is How We Do It is fucking. When we're talking about songs, when you talk about the '90s, you got to put that up there. If you're talking about top 20 songs of the '90s, for sure. That's how fucking.
Talk about
banging
song
that was.
white people go crazy for as a DJ.
Right, the
Bar
Park
mitzvahs? Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't let the Osmonds drop an album now. The Osmonds, we got this child when it comes to white people every time. Oh my God, Susan, the Osmonds, they dropped another solo record called Pigeons, Toes, and Coffee. We've got to go get it. Sunshine on a movie.
Sunshine, lollipops, and cool breeze.
Sunshine. That's the shit that beats out Midlife Special all through the sunshine and caramel, marshmallows and baby tans.
First of all, that's not what white people sing. No, we're not that. What we do is this is how white people sing. This is how white people sing. Never made it as a wise man. Couldn't care about a poor man stealing. Enough to be a lone man. Yeah, Morty, I'm right. Tell us about this song, Morty. Tell us about Waterfalls.
Let me tell you two great things about this. First of all, you did say it. I mean, Prince talked about it on Sign of the Times, talks about AIDS in '87. But on this one, this is one of the first songs that really addresses it head on, and a popular song that addresses it head on. This is one of those social what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to bring something to the table that wasn't being talked about, especially even in the early '90s,
Right.
to popular music. They weren't afraid of what it would do and alienating. And I like to think, and I could be absolutely wrong, Unique. I mean, you might know more than I do at this point, but it brought it to the Black community, which was still sort of had a big thing about AIDS, that wasn't really absorbing it or adopting it in the same way. And I think a lot of people felt, I mean, they talk about the drug epidemic in this as well, but they were talking about things that really affected a community. And so I think they deserve a lot of credit.
Government affected. And I think the thing is, when we talk about the scourge on drugs within the Black community, we have to always remember that did not come from us, that was placed inside our community. And it is not something that, encapsulates the entire Black experience. We have such a limited experience of what it means to be Black that we think every Black experience is poverty and drugs, and that's not true. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I can tell you, especially about the AIDS epidemic, and you can see it even in the commercials that they play. Whenever they play the PrEP for HIV commercial, the one thing you never see in there is white women, right? Because they're being targeted. You're never going to see a straight white male in that commercial. What you will see is you will see drag queens, you will see trans people, you will see gay white men in the commercial, you will see gay Black men in the commercial, and you will see Black women in the commercial. So those things were targeted, and it's because we don't understand, or we didn't have much of an understanding then because of the lack of information and access to the internet, how much we were being targeted to die and to fail by the system and the government. They were not taking it seriously because they assumed that the misinformation they were getting in the Black community is that only gay men get it.
Yeah.
And not to do monolithic to monolithic, as a white man, I apologize for anything.
No, you're not the part. It wasn't a
I'm sorry. I felt guilty. I love water.
It's not about. First of all, I'm saying this thing that I do believe that white people should apologize as much as possible, whenever possible. So I'm not stepping off of that. But that's not why I introduced the conversation. I was illuminating a point to add to yours. Is that a lot of times when people act like Black people are just ignoring everything, just even with the COVID. We didn't think we would get it because, to be honest with you, most Black people think white people are nasty. Like, you do nasty things to get nasty shit. Walk outside without your shoes on, licking and kissing your dog. So because we don't do shit like that, but it's the truth. Because we don't we assume we're not going to get coronavirus. And then when you realize, and they go out and they say that coronavirus is disproportionately affecting the Black community, not only because there's medical racism that's happening, but also this is targeting us in a very, very strange and aggressive way. Then now the messaging becomes race-based, which is why all these white people that were going, we are the world, we are the children, hands across America when coronavirus first started, and they thought they were dying too, were the same people that were running out to Kroger's with a pamphlet in their hand talking about they can't wear a mask because of Section 345 or some fucking rule they have no idea about. So all this shit moves forward based upon race. It's not just in what we may see politics or our regular lives. It's the reason why the charts are the way that they are. It's the reason why certain artists can't get on the way that they need to. It's the reason why when I listened to the Michael Rappaport one you did, and you talked about D'Angelo, it's the reason why D'Angelo can't be an amazing artist and change his style up. He has to be this over-sexualized Black man that all white women want to fuck secretly and all Black women want to fuck outwardly. You understand? Yeah. If we get marginalized and pigeonholed in the talent that we possess anytime we are a person of color in artistry. And it doesn't mean that also inadvertently sometimes applies to white artists that can't do the shit that they want to do and also be popular, like a John B, who he can't get white people to understand what the fuck he's doing. And he has to have this sort of R&B vibe when Black people support his career because he's doing something that a large portion of the population we don't market to doesn't give a fuck about. And that's problematic. So
yeah.
By the way, I also want to apologize because I really want to have a sip of water, and I'm afraid you'll shame me again.
Drink your water, buddy.
I'm an avid swimmer, so I love water. One of the things I hate the most is that I have not been in a pool in over a year because I swim all the time. I keep my body toned, even though I can't stop it from being fat sometimes. I keep my body toned.
And I'll break you down just two quick more facts on this. Because they're in Atlanta, who do they see in the room? And he goes, hey, come on in here and sing on this. CeeLo Green, who at the time was just in the Goody Mob, he's one of the backup singers on this song. And then one last thing I'll leave you with for this one is the lyrics from Left Eye's rap for this: dreams are hopeless, aspirations and hopes of coming true. Believe in yourself. The rest is up to me and you. They're engraved on her casket. And so I thought that's, I mean, if we're going to leave you with that for this song.
No, I love that. And I want to ask you, Yam, if you had to have one of your jokes or lines engraved for posterity on your casket, which would it be?
It would be the one to say, I hope I make it to heaven, and why did you put me in a casket? Because I asked to be cremated. I'm not, I hope that's I'll say this. Hopefully the joke that I would want engraved on my casket has not been said yet. I'll say that.
I love that. I love that. Can I tell you one thing? And I want to say this to all the Fleece Army out there. There is a clip of Yamaneika telling a story about your mom calling you about a death in your family, or what you thought was a death in your family. And it is one of the funniest jokes you've ever said. And I might have heard, or at least watched on social media. It's so good. It's so brilliant. It's so great. I am on my cat.
It's something that we all experience. It's just about, really comes from a larger set of, like, you realize you're getting older when you realize these old things are happening to your parents. And then I start going into this, a lot of merry-go-round conversations with my mother that's sort of like, oh, she doesn't remember that she said this already, or she's going to tell me a story that she told me yesterday. So it's in that whole time.
So I have a very similar experience. When I first moved out to Los Angeles, I was probably in LA for about 6-7 months. And my mom calls me weeping. And she's like, oh my God, she's like, Josh, are you sitting down? And I'm like, oh my God, what happened to Dad? Oh my God, what happened to my sister Jody? And I'm like, what, Mom? What's wrong? And she goes, Cuddles died. And I was like, oh, thank God. She's like, it was our cat. I was like, yeah, we had it it was 22 years old. I was like, we got it for free. You called me with dead nuclear family energy. Don't fucking come out.
It's different. I had one of my cats pass, and it's a different kick. I had, and I also am, I was trained in the art of Black funerally. And what Black funerally is is if you ever been to a black funeral, you know it's nothing but Tyler Perry or Ice, okay? Because it is from the Lord Jesus, don't take him, Lord, why, Lord, me, Lord Jesus, and niggas jumping into the casket and trying to jump into the ground and the theatrics, and it's just I always say go to a black funeral and then to clear your palate, go to an Irish funeral where they damn near don't even know the person is there because they got so much Anheuser-Busch and fucking beer Corona on top of the casket and shit, and they dance in the last.
They're like, oh, say, let us say, let them sound and try.
Dancing and also getting a plate of food before they bury it. Like, it's like such a nice night and day situation.
Speaking of death, do you want to see this waterfalls video, Josh? Do you want to?
Yeah, show the clip because I think this dude looks like me. Go ahead, play it.
Are you watching it?
There he is. Yeah, I can see it. No, it ain't me.
Is that you, Josh?
That's it.
Do you think it looks like there? Oh, that's my body though.
That's how you know you have AIDS. Looking in the eye there. I think that's
how you fucked up. Though, you blame it on the woman.
I like that they gave the white people the AIDS.
Yeah.
Yes.
There
yes.
Yeah. And there's your
that's
cutaway.
The shit right there, though. That's the shit right there. That dance is so fucking like. What is that close to? That's kind of like Morty. You know all the dances that the kids do.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, thanks. By the way, thanks so much for pointing that out. I used to call it the ET, which was just here, but it's the Britney Spears dance where you don't move your legs and you just move everything up here a little bit and then you get a pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Britney never moved her legs.
Isn't that the Slick Rick?
She could have done her whole routine from a wheelchair.
Isn't that though isn't that a variation of the Slick Rick dance? Like the fucking am I wrong? So they're doing the Slick Rick dance.
Also, remember, I didn't listen to secular music and I went to an all-white school in Dublin, Maryland. So don't verify any type of real facts through me. I'm telling you, I'm gonna leave.
All right, we won't. All right, let's move on. Because then we got another interlude.
Oh no, I want to say this real quick. Is that
go ahead.
When we have the access to change the narrative, and it's not that I wanted to see white people have AIDS, but it's a strong narrative when you start to put that in a place where you won't see it. And also because the more white people see themselves being affected by something, the more seriously things. That's why when we have things like even what T-Boz suffers from, which is disproportionately to the Black community, which is sickle cell. There's very little research on sickle cell, very little research, especially on lupus, which affects Black women disproportionately. So when we talk about, when we really want to make a thing, you're going to have to put it on a white woman so that we can all go, oh my God.
All right. So where were we? So, all right. So then let me pick it up from here. All right. So we got another intermission. Then it's Let's Do It Again. Then the one I wanted to talk about is If I Was Your Girlfriend. Morty, you had said this one's pretty interesting. So go ahead and tell us about
so this is the thing. So remember, Prince puts out in 87, same record as Sign of the Times I was talking about. This track was originally made for Mary J. Blige, and then it was offered to the group. Some of you might know the group Total. You know, they're the work with Biggie.
They're the group from House Party. Am I wrong or am I right?
I don't know that. I don't know. They probably were.
Total was the Can't You See?
Yeah.
What you do to me?
Yeah. Biggie. Right.
Yeah,
right.
They had
Biggie
the girl in it before women was really calling themselves lesbians and power tops.
Yeah, power tops. It's my favorite girl group, Power Tops.
So as an example, once again, here's the clever gender reversal thing. This is originally sung by Prince from a male perspective as a female character. For those of you that know, he went under this voice Camille, and he did it with this high voice. Now he's singing to her platonic girlfriend about how much more intimate their relationship could be if he was a romantic boyfriend. It's a lot of back and forth. So this is a sort of a women's group taking over a man singing as a woman. There's a lot of Victoria shit going on in this one.
Oh, wow.
But just so you know, this also helped Prince's career out immeasurably because at this moment, he was going through the whole slave thing with the symbol and everything with Warner Brothers Records. And a lot of people thought he fell off and was never going to come back. And they, are making fun of him on all the shows.
Yeah.
This blowing up really aided in his career coming back something strong also. And he came out of it shortly thereafter and was brought right back in like top of the game, Prince.
I wonder, it's funny that you mentioned that and what we know about the history of TLC. I wonder if Prince gave them this song knowing that they were having money problems with, and the contract that they negotiated originally was bad. And then he could, because I mean, dude, the thing that you can identify with other people when the most is when, dude, I'm getting fucked over by this guy. And then they're like, dude, I'm getting fucked over by this guy. And it's what is it called? When you have two negatives make a positive. Do you know what I mean? I dated a girl because she was depressed and I was depressed, and we had good times together because we were both sad as shit. So, do we want to hear this, or can we move on?
Absolutely, come on.
All right, Jesus, stop yelling at me, my God. Hold on, let me get it on. Let me get it. I got it.
Which one you want? You want the Prince or the
high school?
I'm gonna play this version, and then we'll play the other one too.
Can you hear this, Josh?
No, I'm just going to do the music. I think it's the music that's fucking everything up. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here, I'll just play it. All right, let's hear the Prince version because I'm going to play the same part, but the Prince I'm going to take it again. I'm going to play the same part. Let me take it one more time because I said part. I'm going to take that. Fuck. I'm gonna play the Prince version.
Do all the things that only a best friend can. Only best friends can.
I can't wait until we have a Prince record on this fucking list, man. I only know the hits, and everything I hear by Prince, I just love, man. I saw him live at George Lopez show right before he was about to do the thing at the Forum, when he's gonna do those nights. My cousin was producing on George Lopez, and we got to see him, maybe 50 people in the audience, and it was still to this day one of the most insane performances. Also, if anybody, we've talked about on this podcast before, the George Harrison tribute at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where they're doing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and there's like Jeff Lynne and fucking, Tom Petty and maybe Bob Dylan, and Prince comes out to do the solo, and Angelo showed it to me. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Of just, this dude rips it so hard, and at the end he throws the guitar off and walks off stage, and some big black dude that's by security just catches it, and Prince could not give a shit if he broke it or he's the fucking man. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this song?
I'm gonna be honest, it was my least.
Really?
Yeah. And it's hard, right? Because like,
no, I love that. Be honest. Always be honest. No, I get it.
I'm being honest, and but to listen to you big it up so much and have these sort of existential moments, I really was asking the Lord to let me see the same thing you saw.
Yeah.
But to live it through you, can't nobody make somebody feel like they've lived through somebody the way you do. You were the master of that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I listen, it's not my favorite song on the record. Mine is fucking the Everybody Do It On Your Night. That's my favorite. But that's, no here, no there. Let's get to the rest of the song.
It's not the best beat. I got to say that the beat is a little, yeah. There's something about it.
I like it because I
like you're in a
trip hop.
warehouse. It sounds weird. I don't know what the noises are. I don't know.
Well, it's pretty faithful to the original. Like if
both of them.
This is my high school record, so this is
Sure.
like the original. Very much sounds like the original record. But I give props to the fact that somebody doing a Prince song that close to when it came out. I mean, it's only 6, 7, 8 years after that, and to do it while he's going through his stuff, man. I hope it helped both of them out.
No, and it probably did. And I told you, they connected over being broke. Bad contracts, dude. Bad contracts. I've connected with so many comics over getting fucked over by Comedy Central. All right.
Woo!
Woo! Shots fired up in this. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Make sure you get the rights back to your TV show. And I did. All right, the next one, we got an interlude. This one's kind of cool because it's got Chili prank calling Puffy. And she tells him, she goes, I want you to pass me some tissue. And he goes, why? She goes, so I can wipe my ass, which is great. Take Our Time is Chili's song. Big ups to Chili. She kills it. Can I Get a Witness? Another, dude, this is the 15th fucking interlude. Yeah, Switch. Okay, song. Let's do the last song on the record. Something Wicked, This Way Comes. Morty, why don't you tell us about that?
So obviously this is a line from Shakespeare's play Macbeth. It laments the hostile and violent current world at the time of 1994 and the desire for a more peaceful time of the past. I don't know that it actually occurred, but that's the idea, is we're all looking to when life was good, right? But the dope part about this is it features a verse from at the time, barely known Atlanta, Georgia rapper named Dre, whose group had just put out their first album just a little bit earlier in the year. Of course, now we know that as Andre 3000 of Outkast, another Atlanta, Georgia from the Goody Mob, group of people. So, I think to me, that's the most important thing about this one.
Yeah, that's great. No, that's great. And God bless Outkast, dude. I think they have 3 records on this list.
First 500 one.
First 500. Yeah, it was the first episode we did. But I want to play, because it's the last song on the record, I want to play a little clip of Left Eye's verse because, she's not with us and she fucking deserves to be in the discussion of not just great female rappers, but I mean, all of her verses, like in the ones in Waterfall, whatever. They've been super important. So here, play a little taste of this one.
Hey, if we could all agree that letting our souls become free.
Goodbye, ski baba all my life. Baba dee doo doo doo
And the stress on my back. With them caps, they be blasted into my knapsack. Ain't no accidental death trap. My mishap is the fact that I'm destined to snap. It's when I feel this though. My body's able to go. My mind is ready to flow. Did you know? First you catch and then I throw. It's my own sense of time. If I'm late, it's cause I'm into my day. Just when the sun shines. And still just be a business. Then whose chest would have the most seats? I keep this focus in my knees. And the stress on my back. With them caps, they be blasted into my knapsack.
It's funny that Andre 3000 was on this song because, to be honest with you, this sounds like an Outkast song. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, the undertone of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, I mean, it's a great record. There's a lot of stuff on it that I think could have been cut. But the hits that are so big on this and so important really is what makes this record just really special. You want to do some facts and we'll get you out of here, Yam?
I would love that.
Morty, hit me with the facts.
I'll just give you one quick thing before we go. Here's the thing about Left Eye, which is so important on this. She's only on like 4 songs on this entire record.
Yeah.
Deborah Killings is the one who sings most of the parts that would be attributed to her, but she's only let out of jail let out of rehab twice. So think of how prominent and present you think of her on this record, and she's only on it like 4 times. I mean, that is such a testament to her talent and to her sort of the shadow she casts. So I just wanted to give that as props to her on top of everything.
I also, you know what I forgot? I wanted to ask you about this, Yam. You have a relationship with Candy Burris, right?
Yes.
And she co-wrote No Scrubs by TLC.
Yes.
How did that come about?
How she came about with that, I don't know that. I'm not typing her like that.
No, I know not how she got the song. I don't tell me the history. That we got Morty for that. How did you become friends with her?
Oh, I did her talk show. She had a show on Bravo, Candy Coated Nights, and I was the co-host on it, or her sidekick. And we did 2 episodes, and I kept in contact with her. She's really lovely, is very sweet, down to earth woman, and what I think people don't often know about her is she is a businesswoman. Like, you see her moving her business, so you may see a lot of her, people may think she's just a singer or with her sex toys and stuff like that, But she knows how to get her money. She's no fool.
Get that money. All right, hit us with some facts, Morty.
You guys are probably the perfect age to enjoy this. During the sessions for this record, they recorded the theme song to Nickelodeon's popular long-running kids sketch comedy show, All That. So that thing you heard at the beginning of it, that's TLC. That's Left Eye singing that rap. So that show, obviously, everybody knows, introduced the world to Kenan Thompson, who's going on to be the longest-running cast member on SNL.
Ooh, I never watched All That. I was a Are You Afraid of the Dark guy. So
no, you couldn't get me. I didn't realize Are You Afraid of the Dark is the reason why I couldn't go to sleep most nights.
Really? It's like the most non-scary show I've ever seen in my life. But all right, so let me ask you this. What's your dream gig, Yam?
Being here with you.
God, I love you. All right, go on, Morty. What else you got?
All right, I'm gonna give you another one. Okay, check this out. All right, I try not to laugh because it's not funny, but it's crazy. So that fire in the bathtub with the shoes, you know, the one that burned down the mansion. That's actually the second one that Left Eye had started.
The second
in a bathtub at his.
She went back to the well twice.
Yeah.
By the way, the first one she said, it wasn't shoes the first time. It was stuffed animals that she thought Andre was giving to another girl. And so that burned the first tub. So the one that burned down the mansion
he's
was
like, Lisa,
second.
Hey, why'd you burn up my Beanie Baby collection? You know I was saving them. That was an investment, girl. I've been collecting Beanie Babies. What the fuck? You're going to give that to a girl. That's my Beanie Babies.
I'm too busy burning down the second tub.
Yeah.
Wait, JT, did you find out the stats?
Yeah, I got the stats.
What are Andre Rison's stats?
Here, I'll share it so you can see, but it's not good for the burn down.
This is going to make the computer crash. Watch.
Oh, it's not good for the burn?
So look, you see this little 15 here in 1993 was the year before his house got burned down the second time, I guess.
Yeah, 15 touchdowns.
His best season ever. Still had a pretty good season the next season, but only 8 touchdowns and a little bit less yards, 1,000 yards.
But you know what? We really need to find out, which we don't know if you have enough time, was who was quarterback both of those seasons, because it could have gone from fucking Aaron Rodgers to fucking Jeff Bostic, even though he's not a quarterback.
Do you really want me to look it up?
Jeff George. Nah, don't worry about it. 15 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns is still respectable.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let me ask you, Yam, because we got you here. What's the most spiteful thing you've done in a relationship?
Look at that face.
What have you done, girl?
Face.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so one that I will confess to, because I did tell this guy I did this. A guy that I was seeing, and after we had broken up, he liked one of my girlfriends. He was interested in her. He was very flirty with her. I mean, at this time we were still friends, but I was, whatever. And so we arranged for him to go on a date with her, and she was in Connecticut at the time, so she had to get on the train to come to the city. And we made this big thing where he would, he'd come to get her, but she wouldn't be there. She would stand him up. And so we obviously we wanted to see it, so we went there. And we were off on the side, waiting to see him be disappointed that she wasn't coming.
Yeah.
And then as we were walking away and we're laughing, and I go to high five her, I miss. There's a hole in the sidewalk or something, and I literally almost shook my brains out. I fell so hard that I could. You ever get this sting inside your body and it takes a minute for it to go away? It feels like somebody threw heavy water on you. It was like this thing in my body, and I wound up getting a scrape and everything, and face had swollen. And so I just confessed. I told him, because he asked me why I looked that way. I said, well, because I was trying to set you up, and I got played.
Well, that's all right, man. Guess what happened to that guy though?
What?
3 letters took him to his final resting place. Tell me.
He's so close to me. Trust me.
Oh, really? Okay, so he doesn't have AIDS then. No, good.
No.
We wish him the best. We wish
know.
you the best.
If anything, he got FAT.
Oof.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
He started doing it in his head.
what does that mean? All right, Morty, what else we got?
All right, we got a couple more. So Left Eye, it's not funny, but when Left Eye drank, she believes she became an alter ego called Nikki. That's what she called herself when she was not on her best behavior while she was drinking. She
It's so
referred to
sad.
that as Nikki.
That's so sad. The more I found out about, because I never watched any of the like little VH1 movies about him. I saw the behind the music, but I mean, I was too young to really appreciate it. And after really studying this record and hearing her only on 4 songs and knowing the story, like she loved hard, man. This girl, she had a huge heart. She obviously cared about the world because her verses aren't just, I mean, I'm praying that nobody ghost wrote for him. Do we know if, did she write?
She actually wrote her own rap on a lot of the songs where none of them were writing. She still got credit for writing her rap song.
Good. She deserves it. And I listen, I would have loved to have seen them. I would go see TLC if there was all 3 of them. I'm not going to go see T-Boz Chili and Lil Mama. I want to see, it's like, it's one of those groups. It's like, you know, and this is going to, people are going to shit on me for this. It's like the Beatles would never been the Beatles. Even if Ringo wouldn't have been involved, it's not going to be the Beatles. And TLC as a girl group could not be as big as they were if all 3 of those members weren't crazy, sexy, and cool. I believe it, and it's really unfortunate.
They can't do it because she's not here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, Morty, what's the last fact?
I'm going to give you the last one, and I think this ties a button on the female empowerment part of this entire thing, and I give them more credit. In '96, when they won 3 Soul Train awards, they brought their moms onto the stage, and they announced they're the reason we're here today. And so I think if we're going to tie this up with it being,
they're the reason we're here today because they lent us $25 to take a taxi here because we are broke. We're broke. I think Yam's buying another candle right now. She's gonna.
Right. No, you know what Yams is doing? Yams is setting up because what you don't know is on my spare time, I'm a gamer.
Oh, the Twitch life. You got that Twitch life?
Yeah, so I'm just setting up for Fortnite.
Wait till you get on the Oculus. No.
Now, any man that can send me the Oculus.
Hey, anybody out there? Send her the Oculus.
I can't even tell you on camera what the results will be.
It's deep.
I get it.
It's scary.
Deep. Morty, have you watched porn yet?
Me or her?
Have you watched porn on the Oculus yet?
This right now is taking me away from it.
Okay, you'll get to it. Well, I got here. We got rapid fire questions, and then we're done, baby. All right.
Yeah.
Favorite song on the record?
Has to be Red Light Special.
Really?
Yeah. Just because it encapsulates everything that I think the album really is. Crazy.
No, I dig that. I dig that. Mine's Case of the Fake People. I really love that song. All right. Least favorite song on the record?
The song we were just talking about.
What was
that?
That
was your
one?
girlfriend.
Yeah, that's your least favorite? I thought I changed you. Guess not.
No. You made me live through you, which changed me.
Okay, but you still think it's a piece of shit.
It's not even that. I just feel like it's the one song to me that seems out of place on the album.
I agree.
Okay. All right, so then I feel like you might have already answered this one, but who knows? It might change. What song on this record would you fuck to?
Red Light Special. Come on.
Okay. I knew that was kind of a.
And Half fuck to.
Ooh, shuck it, duck it, quack, quack.
Quack.
All right. Favorite member of TLC?
That's a tough one.
All right. Well,
it really is because, I mean, obviously Left Eye, right? For obvious reasons, I felt more connected to her, and I feel like, she embodied a lot. But I'm not gonna lie, Chili had a really good vibe to her. Sweet,
gorgeous,
demeanor,
gorgeous,
quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And had this sort of like intrigue, which was why like, you know, Usher was attracted to her and things like that. And then I can't sleep on T-Boz, who really was the leader and held everything down, you know. I mean, the obvious answer is Left Eye for a lot of reasons. But I think answering that question in this particular gives the rest of them a disservice that I don't.
Okay, then I got a question. This is a double-parted question because when you heard them, you know, secretly, you had to hide this album from your parents when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Who did you connect with the most when you heard it that time?
I mean, Left Eye.
Okay, and now, you know, fucking 25 years later, 26 years later, who do you connect with the most?
It may be more of a T-Boz.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
But I think those girls, because they all had different elements, that when they came together, they became one. So eventually, they were all going to grow into T-Boz. But I think they all were Left Eye when we were listening to them.
We all have a little bit of Left Eye in us. I'm a T-Boz from the first time to the last time because she got the same goddamn voice that I do. She's like, "How you doing?" She's like, the next record's called No Scrubs.
I don't want no scrubs.
Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from. Remember that? Remember when the guys tried to do a fucking version of that?
Oh, they did. They called it
Pigeon
Yeah.
head, or pigeon head or something.
So
Pigeon, right?
horrible.
And it was horrible, just like
Horrible. Yes.
But we danced to Pigeon too. I got to give them their credit because they were always, and that's what really stretched out the longevity too. I mean, that song would have lasted anyway, but it made it more fun to play it at the clubs because you had that sort of like, they play Scrubs, they go, "All right, fellas, we got you too, fellas," and then they play Pigeons, and it was fun. It was fun.
All right, last question. Does this record deserve to be on the 500 greatest albums list?
Oh, yeah. It deserves to be on the 50 greatest albums list.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, this podcast deserves to be in our top 5 greatest eps we've ever done because I fucking love you so much. Promote away. What do you want to promote?
Right now I'm inside and you may hear my voice on some things outside, but you can always follow me at Yamaneika on everything in social media. On Friday nights, I do live with Yamaneika. It's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we don't do guests anymore, but I would love for Josh to come on and let's do a musical. You know, give him a little snippet of what you do and run him over here and cross promote.
Done.
They love you.
Dude, I would love to do it. Morty, go ahead. Promote. Give us your
Hey, just Twitter, DJ Morty Coyle on there. And you can check out me and my kid on Instagram at Bean Daddy Cartoons, BeanDaddyCartunes.
All right,
Sing with your kids. Be good, y'all.
It's great. If everybody hasn't seen it, it's great. JT, go ahead and promote your network.
At JT_podcast exec on socials and ncpodcast.com. It's Next Chapter Podcasts.
Yam, I love you. Thank you for coming on, baby.
Thank you for having me, guys. What a ball.
My pleasure. My pleasure.